What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B Hot Radio Shout in. Stepping in the building, I got an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a community activist, Michael Harry O'Harris. What's going on with it, boss?
Man, I'm in your city, bro.
Hey, man, welcome to the A-Town. Welcome home, man. I mean, how do you feel moving around in this thing, getting the job done, sir?
Man, I feel good, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when I come to a place like this here, man.
Yes,
I feel
sir.
like at home, you know?
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Now, I mean, we got to get straight into it, though, man.
Yes,
I mean, the Harry O plan.
Yeah.
Break that down to me, man. I mean, what's the plan, man?
Man, the plan is we got to win, bro.
Yeah.
We've been losing too long.
Come
You
on.
understand? So it's like if you don't teach people how to treat you, they're gonna treat you the way they want to treat you.
Facts.
So like the old plan is about locking down real policies that is gonna make a difference in your community and your life.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like,
Yeah.
We get too caught up on these elections, you know, and we don't think about how it's gonna affect us.
Yeah.
So Community First it's like a nonprofit organization that came up with this specific plan.
Yeah.
Like it's called the access agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can we have access?
Come on, man.
You understand? So I'm talking about access to what? Finance.
Come on, capital.
Right? Capital.
Yes, sir.
How can we have access to real jobs?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Better schools.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? All that's real.
Exactly.
Then we got the redemption agenda. That's under the old plan.
Yes, right.
Some of us, we go away. And then what happens when we're away?
Yeah.
What kind of policies we working to make sure that we don't get over incarcerated, and if we is incarcerated,
Yeah.
what kind of resources do we have to make sure that we get them skill sets so that when we come back to the community, we benefit,
Come on.
not an asset.
When you came home, though, Harry O, what was that like for you, man? Did you hit the ground running with your agendas and your processes, man, or was it something that you just had to get bearing on? Or was this something that you had been planning to do the last 33 years before you got
That's a long
out?
time, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you can just sit around and let your brain deplete.
Yeah.
Or you can study and read and you can peep things out for what they really are. And you see people coming in and out all the time. You got all kind of people behind them walls.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got different people in the places I was at that are entrepreneurs coming in trying to bring some game to the table.
Exactly.
You understand? Some skills.
Exactly.
And so I participated in that, helped create some organizations while I was back there. But I was thinking about like, you know, we need to do a lot of things while we're behind the walls. And when we come home, we need to have access to real jobs. And
Exactly.
careers. But what about prevention? Like, what can we do to prevent us from even coming up into these situations?
Those are the biggest facts right there.
Exactly. So how do we holler at that young brain and let them know that some things cost too much? You know what I'm talking about?
Hell yeah.
And so in doing that, you have to also let them know their value. And so that comes through proper education.
Yeah.
And even family members having access to wealth so that they can see, you know, that's what my people doing. I could do that. If you don't see nothing, you don't know nothing.
Come on, man.
Then you can't do nothing.
Come on, that point of reference means everything, man.
Come on, man.
But for young men, though, that you see going down the wrong path, though, Harry, how do you get them to understand what you're saying and that the price that they'll wind up having to pay is just too much?
Well, I just think that we glorify certain things, and so I think that's where the misconception become. Like this thing is like some computer game, you know.
Yeah.
You just go do this, and it's like that. But I think it's gonna take people like myself who done a lot of time,
Yeah.
and can really articulate it instead of coming out with a false narrative.
Yeah.
So sometimes people feel like, oh, jail is cool. Ain't nothing cool about being in prison.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think we got to start doing more of that, talking to people. And also in our creative endeavors, you know, like when we do these films,
Yeah.
you know, it's got to be some cautionary tales.
Come on now.
You got to
Yeah.
see, you got to see that. You got to be able to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, that, you know, it looked cool, but
Yeah.
when we look behind the curtain, that thing got real ugly.
It got real ugly.
Yeah, I'm good. I just rather see this on the screen. I don't want to participate in that.
Exactly.
And I think that's what's got to happen, man. I just think we just got to start communicating the truth.
What do you think happened to where we got away from the cautionary tale, though, man? And folks ain't telling both sides of the game. They're just telling you to run into that wall.
Well, that's interesting, man, because I just think that, you know, hip-hop is an example of what what you're asking me. When we first started it, you know, in different parts of the country,
Yeah.
we had our own narrative.
Facts.
Later on, certain people started weighing in.
Come on now.
Can you hear me? Are you
No,
hear
no,
me?
no,
You
no,
just want to hear me to hear me.
I hear you. I hear
okay.
you.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, we talking then,
Exactly.
right? Well, let's chop it.
Yeah.
Certain people start weighing in. And oh, this is not violent enough, or this ain't, you ain't calling them enough names, and you ain't going as low as you can go, and waving that check in front of you.
Yeah.
And so young minds get a little distorted.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to say this and do this to be able to get that bread. That's
Come
what
on.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you pausing in the minds by young people, because I can tell you that same story in a different way can make you feel good and
Come
see
on.
it for real. Or I could tell it what makes you feel inside
Yeah.
real dirty,
Yeah.
and you start to think dirty.
Yeah.
See, so when we start talking about these films now, which is kind of like the next level of hip hop,
Yeah.
being able to tell stories that then transpired where you could really see the game.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that it's entertaining, because people want to see entertaining,
Yeah.
but it's got to have some game in it.
Come on now. Harry, you was once a young man though, man.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind at that time as a young teen in LA trying to figure some things out, and what was it that made you get into the game?
Well, it's like different environments create different type of trigger moments.
Yeah.
And in the city that I was raised in, Los Angeles, California, at the time, my particular South Central community was inundated with drugs.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about when you're trying to figure it out, and your streets is full,
Yeah.
trucks and tons, and all you can see is what you see.
Yeah.
You don't understand that this is somebody else's chessboard you playing on. You understand?
Yeah.
And so you say, oh man, I can do that and get that. That's what you saw. So yeah, I had influences that was positive, but it all went dark when I saw that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got caught up.
Yeah.
And once I started bubbling up, I started realizing I was being used. You understand? So it wasn't just about me getting bread and we doing good, but other people doing bad.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you got but if you come from something that came back to you,
Yeah.
you feel me?
Yeah.
And then karma do what it do, did my time.
Yeah.
When I get into what I didn't do and what I did do,
Exactly.
it happened.
Yeah.
But if I wouldn't have been involved in certain things, I wouldn't have got pulled into that.
At what point did you realize that you was being used in the game though, man?
Well, like when you see people that you grew up with, addicted,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, doing all kind of unconscionable things,
Yeah.
and you know that you're a direct connection to that.
Yeah.
You can't, you like, I don't intend to do this.
Yeah.
So where's it coming from? Right? It's coming
Yeah.
from a bigger brain pool
Yeah.
that we're dispensable.
Yeah.
And so I just saw it, and then I tried to get out, try to invest, try to do business with the community, try to find a cool place in hell. You know what I mean? That part. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
My God. Now, I mean, Harry, though, you are an entrepreneur as well, though. So when you started taking that money and opening up the different businesses, what was that like for you, man? And then was that you saying, I'm trying to get out the game, or were you just trying to find other places to put the money to benefit the community at the same time?
No, look, man, this is why the access agenda is so important.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have access to capital,
Yeah.
and then you get it and you're able to do some great things with it.
Yeah.
So what if that capital came to you from a legitimate source?
Come on, man.
That's all we're saying.
Come on, man.
That's all we're saying, man.
Exactly.
That you benefit from our entrepreneurism.
Exactly.
So basically, it's like transferable skills.
Yeah.
You learn to skill to deal in the game that you could use in a legitimate world.
Exactly.
So if you can start from there, where do you end up at?
The top.
Without all the dead weight.
Yeah.
Without looking over your shoulders and all the drama that come with that.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? You can't sleep at night.
Exactly. When you think about that access, though, as well, though, working in that program, trying to make stuff happen, are you facing any resistance trying to get that capital back to the community at the same time, too? Or what are some of the biggest obstacles that you face in doing that?
I just think that it's going to be a collective effort.
Okay.
It's not about me. It's about us. That's why I named the organization Community First. See, if we look at each other as a collective,
Yeah.
and then we start moving as a collective, and our voice starts to become heard
Come on,
in a
man.
real way.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna hire you to do this, but this is what we need done.
Yeah.
And if that don't get done, we ain't hiring you no more.
Come on, man.
You or nobody that look like you.
Yeah.
You understand? So we about supporting those who support us. And so how you know who supports you? You have to say collectively, it's not just the old plan, it's what the community say we need.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest problems. People always tell us what we need.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, we starting this thing off up and down the ballot. You know, we finna start, demanding that if we're gonna put you in a spot,
Exactly.
this is what you gotta help us get.
Come on.
We ain't got our hands out. We're just telling you what gotta happen.
Exactly.
Or why should we put you in that position?